balloons, bazookas, boobies, bosoms, boulders, cans, hooters, knockers, melons, honkers, jugs, rack, tatas, tits, torpedoes, guns, bust, doorknobs, coconuts, and our favorite one, the girls. Welcome to the All About Breastfeeding show, where your host, Lori, highlights mothers just like yourself and goes beyond the surface questions and digs deep so they share not only their joys and happiness in their daily breastfeeding life, but also their pain and struggles and how they worked through them.
Episode number 159. Welcome to All About Breastfeeding, the place where the girls hang out. I am your host, Lori Jill Eisenstadt, IBCLC, which stands for International Board Certified Lactation Consultant. Everyone who knows me knows that I help moms with breastfeeding. Other people who may not know me as well may not know that I'm also a childbirth educator, a postpartum doula, and a birth doula. This episode is being brought to you by allaboutmothering.com. My regular listeners know by now that the All About Mothering membership site is launching on April 1st, 2017, which is 4 days from now. Inside this membership site, you will find a warm and inviting place where you can come and learn and have access to educational information on aspects of care related to conception, pregnancy, birth, breastfeeding, and the first year of your postpartum life. As many big projects go, they always take more time to complete than we think they will. In the online world, there are so many things I can do with this site, and I have decided to be very focused on the time period between conception and your baby's first year, because I find this as a time when most of us tend to be quite needy in the education and the support department. We need to learn what kinds of things are important to us for our prenatal care before finding the right caregiver. The same goes for where you give birth, hospital, birthing center, or home. Again, a lot of this and finding out about this is a case of we don't know what we don't know, and how can we ask questions about things that we don't even know about? I was definitely in that space when I was pregnant with my first baby. I developed the All About Mothering site because I have a huge desire to be able to provide one solid place where moms can come to rely upon, where they can get to know me and can rely on getting accurate information about pregnancy, birth, breastfeeding, and postpartum. There's nothing more aggravating to us women than to have so many different options, but such inconsistency in care plans and knowledge and advice, and then to find out later that some of it was bad information. There's nothing worse than having to search all over the internet looking for answers and still not sure of who is even telling us this information and of the accuracy of what we're being told. There are a few times in my early mothering that made me want to, one day, just one day in the future, I would tell myself, I want to provide a community where moms from all over could meet, connect, socialize, vent, share their stories in a caring and compassionate and non-judgmental environment. A place where you can all learn about such an important time period of your life, conception to your baby's first year. The time is finally here. My motivation, well, let me share with you a small slice of what I experienced with my first pregnancy, and this will help to explain to you what my motivation has been. Inside the group, in the forums and in videos and in live Q&As, I will be sharing much more about my personal experiences in greater detail. But for right now, I wanted to let you know that, it wasn't until after the birth of my first baby, Alicia, that I realized what I really wanted out of prenatal care. What kind of childbirth classes would have been best for me? I just didn't know that during my pregnancy. I basically just went along with the program, not really understanding the importance of finding that special person to provide prenatal and birthing care for me. The very first thing that became apparent is that my doctor could not be with me during my whole 24-hour labor. Of course he couldn't, and I suppose I should have known that, but I didn't. And when I would talk to him about things that I really wanted in my birth plan, and he was quite agreeable, there was never once that he enlightened me and said, "You know, Lori, I just want you to know I may not be able to be with you during the whole labor." Well, I'll tell you, even if he said that, that would have got me thinking. But he didn't, and I didn't. I think that one might think it's an obvious assumption, but never having been through this before, I just didn't know to ask him that question. If you can't be with me, then who will be? I realized after the fact that I probably would have been better with a practice that had at least two caregivers that I could meet with throughout the pregnancy that shared the same birth philosophy. I also know that perhaps two, but I know myself, I also would not have been wanted to be in a practice with 10 caregivers, but I also know that I've met some women who say, yeah, I don't mind. It's okay with me. I'd rather have more and at least know that one of the five that I met during my pregnancy was going to be at my birth. Well, anyway, silly me. What good was it that I had spent the better part of my pregnancy making sure my doctor understood and agreed with my birth plan if he was not going to be there to help execute it? And who knew that the nursing staff, that some would not agree with all my wishes? Everyone had an opinion. And that also went for breastfeeding too. When her blood sugars were low, I didn't know at the time that I could insist that I hand express my milk and give that to her. And you better believe that I tell that to moms now. Yes, Alicia, my firstborn, was beautiful and healthy, and I was blessed with a beautiful baby girl. So was it wrong of me to want more from my experience? Some people made me feel guilty for complaining at all. So, what are some of the things that happened to me? Well, I was in a large university teaching hospital that wanted to have everyone and their mother in the room with me. They wanted to do frequent vaginal exams by unknown staff members, and that I definitely said no to each and every one, which, of course, you can imagine did not make me a popular patient. I was strongly encouraged to stay in bed, and they frequently were pushing medication on me as the labor got tougher. I discussed a lot of this with my doctor, who agreed that I could labor as I wanted, to be up and about most of the time. But, when he wasn't there, which was overnight, of course, I was relegated to other staff members who were not quite as accommodating. I was put in a position of begging, please, I just want to get out of bed. I just need to pee again. I just want to walk around. I had to beg to get some of the simple things that I wanted. And some staff were okay, and others I felt like I really had to fight with. And as the labor progressed, I just had less and less energy to fight the fight. My husband was of huge support, but he was not listened to either, and I needed him to be there for me, not arguing with the hospital staff. I did have a vaginal birth without medication, which was my personal wishes, but I just felt like I had to fight every step of the way. I knew I wanted more babies, but I did not want to do it that way again. And so I was the person who came home from the hospital and within 2 or 3 weeks started checking out books from the library and learning all I could about childbirth. And I decided that I needed to have a lot more information. I began the long process of becoming a certified childbirth educator. And everything that I've done since in my career has been motivated by my desire to learn how I can do better and be a more informed consumer, and pass this on to other parents. As a childbirth educator, I taught parents who are planning on giving birth with different caregivers, whether it be medical doctors, naturopathic doctors, midwives, parents if they were planning on a hospital birth, birthing center birth, and home birth, water birth. It didn't really matter so much to me who parents chose as their care provider or where they give birth. But what really mattered to me was that they had the best up to date information available to them so they could make an informed choice and choose what was best for their family. During pregnancy, it is so easy to lose focus and become overwhelmed with all the choices that we have. As a community member, you will be able to take yourself through a learning process that will not be overwhelming. It will be informative, easy to understand, a place you can visit with your partner at the same time or at different times, at any time that's convenient for you, days, nights, or weekends. Because it's online, you will not be limited to times of days that you can learn. I do have to say that this has been quite an undertaking trying to do this along with a very, very, very full time job and podcasting. As most things are that I take on, the doing is a lot more involved than the dreaming stage. Things are harder, take longer, with lots of bumps along the way. I really want you to join the membership so you can be a founding member and be a part of us as the site grows. This site is in its infancy, and right now, the center of this community is in the forums and live weekly hangouts where we will get to know each other better and you can have access to me and have your questions answered. I have access to a lot of people, a lot of experts in the maternity health field, and there's plenty that I know and plenty that I don't. And if you're asking me questions about something that I don't know, I will be sure to connect and find out the answer with one of my experts. The center of the community is going to be the heart of the All About Breastfeeding membership site, along with the videos that are on there, guest speakers, and information that is already in the site. Each week, I will be adding more videos, more guest speakers, checklists, hands out on specific subjects, and making it a fun place to learn. So the biggest question from everybody is, okay, Lori, how much is this? My answer, it is incredibly and ridiculously affordable to get in on the ground floor while we grow. Like, how do you feel about $30 for a 3-month period? You just can't get any better than that. Details, if you want, about a yearly membership can be found at allaboutmothering.com. You can also go to allaboutmothering.com and grab your copy of an ebook about breastfeeding and getting started. I hope that you come on April 1st to the site so you can sign up for the membership. There will be lots of prizes given away. For instance, the 25th person who signs up will get a $10 Target gift card. The 50th person to sign up will get a $25 gift card. The 75th will get a $35 gift card. And the 100th person to sign up will get a $50 gift card. And again, if you go to that site, you can see additional pricing, additional information. And that is it for now. So I'm closing out the show. I will be with you one more time on Friday for our last FAQ. And then on Saturday, the site opens up. On Friday, I will let you know what day our first hangout is going to be, where we are going to connect live. And also information, anything else, any of the last minute details that I need to tell you about joining the All About Mothering membership site. For now, bye-bye. Have you heard that Phoenix, Arizona is blessed with an amazing birthing center? Baby Moon Inn Birth Center is the best option for families who want access to midwifery care in and out of a hospital setting. You can experience birth in a comfortable home-like setting where natural birth is the focus. Laboring in water, being able to walk outside during labor and enjoy the beautiful garden. This is what birth can be like for you. There is so much more to learn about Baby Moon. The staff would love to have the opportunity to meet you and would like to extend an invitation for you to attend a free Choices in Childbirth class and a tour of the birth center. All you need to do is call 602-314-7755. That's 602-314-7755 and ask for the tour dates. You can also go to allaboutbreastfeeding.biz/podcast. And on the right-hand side of the page, you will see a link that will bring you to the calendar and you can sign up for the tour yourself. When you come in for the tour, make sure that you tell them you found out about it from the All About Breastfeeding podcast, and you will be given a very lovely free gift.